Bang! The large front door shut behind Arthur's children with a hard, offended click. Silence followed. Maya stood by the dining table, shaken. Her children had gone quiet, sensing tension they were too young to understand. Arthur looked calm, but there was steel in his eyes. After a long pause, Maya spoke softly. Arthur, I never wanted to come between you and your children. He turned toward her. You haven't, and I apologize for the way they spoke to you. But I feel like a problem, she said quietly. He crossed the room slowly and placed a hand over hers. You are my peace in this house. Still, the accusation and their mean remarks stung. They were harsh, and her feelings were hurt. That evening, Maya gathered her children and left earlier than usual. Then she didn't come back. One day passed, then two, then three. She buried herself in Doordash deliveries, pretending she was too busy to think about the emptiness she felt. But every luxury home she drove past reminded her of his mansion. Every elderly customer reminded her of Arthur. On the third evening, her phone rang. Arthur, her heart jumped. Maya, he said, unusually serious. Come to the house tomorrow morning. I need to talk to you in person. She arrived at Arthur's estate, feeling very uneasy. Arthur met her at the front door, dressed in a pressed linen shirt, looking stronger than she'd seen him in weeks. He led her into the study. I have something for you. He reached into his pocket and placed an old-fashioned brass key in her palm. Maya stared. What is this? A key to the house. She blinked. Arthur smiled. I want you and the children to move in. She nearly laughed from disbelief. Arthur, no. Yes. No, your children already think I'm a gold digger. They can think what they want. He leaned closer. I am old enough to decide who belongs in my life. She looked down at the key. Her hands trembled. You mean this? I mean, he said, voice thick with emotion. This house stopped feeling like a mausoleum when you walked into it and into my life. His eyes softened toward her. You and those children are my family now. Tears gathered in Maya's eyes. But why would you do this for me? Arthur smiled. Because sometimes life sends a stranger to rescue you, and sometimes you just don't let them go. Within a month, Maya had given up her tiny one-bedroom apartment. She and her children moved into the mansion. The children ran through halls that once echoed with loneliness. Their laughter bounced off marble and chandeliers. Arthur had rooms redesigned for them. A nursery became a reading room, a formal sitting room turned into a playroom. The house transformed, and so did Maya's life. Her children were enrolled in an elite magnet elementary school nearby. The first morning she drove Arthur's silver Bentley through the school drop off line, she almost laughed at the absurdity. Just weeks ago, she had been delivering fast food. Now, she was stepping out in Chanel sunglasses, helping her children from a luxury car, while other parents and school staff thought she was the owner. Sometimes Arthur insisted she take the Porsche instead. You're 25, he teased. Drive something exciting. She had never imagined such a life, and yet she settled into its surprising grace. Arthur handed her a black card one afternoon, as casually as if giving her grocery money. For the house, he said. But it became much more. Clothes for the children, designer clothes and handbags she once only saw online, fine groceries, spa days, vacations Arthur insisted they take. This summer, they would take the children on their first Mediterranean cruise, a soft life she had only daydreamed about. And somehow she wore it naturally. Over time, something neither of them expected quietly bloomed: love. Not the frantic kind, something deeper. Arthur watched her reading to the children by the fireplace, laughing in the kitchen while cooking, walking barefoot through the gardens at sunset, and he realized he was in love. One evening on the terrace, he finally said it. Maya, she looked up. I never thought I would feel alive again. He took her hand. Until you. She didn't pull away because somewhere along the way she had begun loving him too. Not for the wealth, not the mansion, but the gentleness in a man who cared about her existence. When Maya's sister visited and saw the estate, she stood speechless. You live here? Her young friends wandered the mansion in disbelief. The pool, the wine cellar, the important marble baths, the Bentley and the Porsche in the garage. There were squeals of envy, wide eyes, and quieter emotions too. Some celebrated her, others resented her. One friend whispered, half joking, half bitter, Girl, you're living everybody's dream. Maya smiled but said little, because even she sometimes woke up unsure it was real. Late at night, when she stood by the bedroom windows overlooking the grounds and think about the woman she had been, exhausted, delivering food, counting tips for rent, and the woman she had become, protected, cherished, provided for. She no longer rushed from order to order, no longer worried about overdue bills, no longer wondered if life had something bigger in store, because she was living it. One evening, Arthur found her staring out at the moonlit gardens. What are you thinking? She leaned into him. That maybe this was always the life waiting for me. Arthur kissed her forehead. No, he said softly, this is the life that found you. And in that great mansion once haunted by loneliness, a new future was quietly being written. The end. If you like this short story, go ahead, like, share, and follow for more interesting short stories and more interesting content. Thank you so much for watching.